Unit 1, Formative 3, Day 1. We're going to be talking about conversions today. Just the first day of conversions, so pretty much just the basics to get us ready for the next couple days. Alright, let's get started. First of all, if you need the reference sheet, there will be one in class, or they're always on page 801 of the book. So that's something to write down, so that way tomorrow when you come in, you'll know which page to look at. Take good notes. That doesn't mean just writing down one or two things. It means writing down the problem, not just the answer, because if you just write the answer, you're not going to learn anything. But have the problem down, have the work that I do. I don't do very many problems, so it won't be too hard, okay? Take good notes. Alright, so number 1, 4.8 yards. I want to know how many inches that is. So we want to convert yards into inches. So if you look at your conversion sheet and you find something that goes from yards to inches, and I see that it tells me 36 inches equals 1 yard. Okay, so that's the conversion that I'm going to use. So I always start with what I'm starting with, so 4.8 yards. And I want to get rid of that yard, so I'm going to times by a fraction. In order to get rid of something on top, you have to put it on the bottom. So yard needs to go on the bottom, which means inches is going on top. Okay, this way I know my yards cancel. So then I just replace it. So 36 inches goes in here, whereas the 1 goes down here because it's 1 yard. So 36 inches to 1 yard. So now what do? Is I look at my labels and I want to cancel out my yards. Okay, so now I know I'm left in inches, which is what I want in the end. Okay, and then I just take the numbers. I take 4.8 times 36 divided by 1. So if you use a calculator, 4.8 times 36 and then divided by 1 gives you 172.8 inches. Okay, so 4.8 yards is actually 172.8 inches. Alright, let's try another one. This next one wants me to go from 84 ounces to cups. So I need to figure out how many ounces are in a cup. So I go back to my reference sheet and I see that 8 ounces equals 1 cup. Okay, so 8 ounces equals 1 cup, so that's the conversion that I'm going to use. Okay, so I start with my 84 ounces and I multiply by a fraction. It's always how you start it. Now ounces on top, so I need to put ounces on the bottom, so that way they cancel. And my cups have to go on top. Okay, the 8 goes with the ounces, the 1 goes with the cups. Alright, so now if I do this, my ounces are going to cancel, and I'm going to be left with cups, which is what I want. Okay, it needs to match that. So now if you look, you take 84 times, now 1 is on top, so 84 times 1 divided by 8. So in your calculator, you can take 84 times 1 and then divide by 8, and you'll get 10.5. Okay, so 84 ounces equals 10.5 cups. Now, here's where I see the most mistakes. I see people that just want to multiply every time. Sometimes people want to divide every time. Don't try to figure out whether you're multiplying or dividing without writing anything down. Okay, if you write things down and you know that these two need to cancel, you'll know where to put your numbers. That's how you decide if you're going to multiply or divide the numbers. Okay, let's try another one. Number 3, 4 tons equals how many ounces? Okay, so we go back to our reference sheet and try to find something with tons and ounces. Now on my reference sheet, I don't have anything that goes directly from ounces to tons. So I'm going to have to use more than one conversion for this one. So I know that 16 ounces equals 1 pound. Okay, LB is pound. So 16 ounces equals 1 pound. And I also know that 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton. So I have something that's going to take me from ounces to pounds and then pounds to tons. So that way I can get from ounces to tons. So I'm going to have to use 2 conversions for this one. So now when I start with my 4 tons, because that's what I was originally given. You times a fraction. Tons has to go on the bottom, so it cancels out, so I put tons. Now, if I look at my conversion, this is the one that has tons in it, so I have to use that first. So it's 2,000 pounds to 1 ton, and that's 2,000. So 4 tons times 2,000 pounds to 1 ton. So right now my tons would cancel, and I'd be in pounds. I still don't want pounds. Remember, I want to end up in ounces. So I need to multiply by another fraction. Okay, I need my pounds to cancel, so I need pounds on the bottom. So now we get to use this one, so that way my top will be the ounces, which is what I wanted. And we know 16 ounces is 1 pound. Okay, now that I have it set up, I know my pounds are gone. So I know I'm going to end up in ounces. I need to just do the math. So we have 4 times 2,000 times 16 divided by 1 divided by 1. So in my calculator, that's exactly what I'll do. I'll take 4 times 2,000 times 16 divided by 1 divided by 1, and you get 128,000 ounces. Now we need to make sure we're labeling our answer, because that's the whole point of this. So 4 tons is the same thing as 128,000 ounces. Okay, let's try another one. 3 days is how many seconds? 3 days is how many seconds? Well, if you look at your conversion sheet, I see I have days to hours, and I have hours to minutes, and I have minutes to seconds. So I'm actually going to have to use 3 conversions. So I know that 1 day is 24 hours. I know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. And I know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. Okay, so I want to go from days to seconds. So I'm going to start with my 3 days. Now remember, the first thing I need to do is get rid of that days. So I'm going to have to use this one. My days has to go on the bottom so it cancels. So you have 1 day on the bottom. 24 hours is on top. So that way my days cancel. Okay, now I got to get rid of that hours. So I need hours on the bottom. We're going to have to use this one next. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. Times again, because now my hours are gone, but now I'm in minutes. Remember, I want to end up in seconds. So I got to put my minutes on the bottom so that way they cancel. So it's 1 minute is 60 seconds. So now my minutes are gone. Okay, so remember, you always have to put top and bottom so that way they cancel out. So now my math would be 3 times 24 times 60 times 60 divided by 1 divided by 1 divided by 1. So if you plug that into your calculator, you get 3 times 24 times 60 times 60 divided by 1 divided by 1 divided by 1, and your answer is 259,200 seconds. So that's how many seconds are in 3 days. Alright, last one. 2 square yards equals how many square feet? 2 square yards equals how many square feet? So what we want to do is we want to get back to our sheet. Okay, and on my sheet, if I look at this, I look for my square yards and my square feet, and what I find is 27. Oh, sorry. That's not correct. 9 square feet equals 1 square yard. 9 square feet equals 1 square yard. So if I start with my 2 square yards, and you can label these however you like. Now, since I want to get rid of that square yards needs to go on the bottom. Okay, and it's 1 square yard is 9 square feet. I had to put the square yard on the bottom because now they cancel. Okay, so I have 2 times 9 divided by 1, which is 18 square feet. Okay, so that is conversions, day 1. We'll see you tomorrow.